Hi there, I'm an Ultimate Iron Man. Sort of. I've divided the Runescape map into 18 regions, all with their own custom-built task system. These tasks provide rewards to me, such as XP and supplies. Every week, I will randomly select one of these regions and I'll be locked to it for 9 hours. Once up, my inventory and ward equipment will be wiped. My bank will be operating on a store-only basis, which means I can never take items out of it. I have compiled a list of RuneScape bosses, and the goal of this series is to kill all of them at least once. With every boss killed for the first time, I'm awarded either the choice of an additional region every week, or the ability to carry over one inventory slot every single week. Lastly, all of this content will be streamed live at twitch.tv/MrFrogRS, so be sure to join in. If you need any more information, make sure you check out the description, or just leave a comment. Without further ado, I bring you Regional Rumble! So stupid. Let's go ahead and spin our new regions. I'm actually pretty happy with them. There's a good combination there that I can use. But you're going to have to wait till the next episode to find out. So, yeah. Let's move on to week 16. Hello and welcome to another episode of Regional Rumble. By this point, you're going to know that I skipped a week, and if you managed to miss the post, you're not in the Discord, you don't follow the Twitch, and somehow you got your head under a rock. I was severely ill last week, so I couldn't record this series, and therefore I also couldn't make the video. The reason the other videos still go up as normal is because they were pre-recorded, and there's only like one clip in there from when I was just recovering to get better. And these videos are recorded the week they're uploaded, so essentially if I'm not well, I'm going to miss a week, and that's just going to be how it has to be. I do enjoy doing it this way, because it's quite live update, and people can give their opinions on, like, active things that are happening within the video. So I don't have any intent to change that or, like, postpone it by a week or anything. It will mean that is the downside, though. If something does happen in real life, it's going to cost me to miss a week. But hopefully it's not too much of an issue. We'll still be uploading it to the playlist. So a lot of people don't watch these videos when they come out anyway. They wait for them to stack up, and I do that with series as well. So understandable. Anyway, away from digressing, that is why last week was missed. We are back now. I'm feeling much better. Thank you to all the people that told me to get well soon. Secondly, I had some feedback about the overlay with the intro to the videos. Now, unfortunately, because I already have done the intro by the time I'm recording this clip, for the video, you've already going to have seen the intro, and it's going to be the same as last week's. I did get some feedback saying that it was a bit too small, and they couldn't read it. I'm going to try and revamp it again, and we'll see what you think of that next episode. But obviously, like I said, I've already done the intro now, so I'm not really going to go back and change it again. That's just a lot of work. I tend to do them before I record the videos, so that's how that goes. Yeah, if you've got anything that you'd like to change about that, please let me know. Don't just leave a comment saying you hate it, because that's kind of annoying. It doesn't really help me change it. Any constructive criticism, I'm happy to take on. Anyway, right, yeah, so the regions this week should be Southern Kourend, Asgarnia, and Lumbridge. If for some reason I've messed this up, I'm going to hate myself, but I've missed a week, so I kind of forgot. I'm pretty sure they are the regions, but with that in mind, we are going to be starting in Southern Kourend. Now, there's not a massive amount that I want to do here, but there is one thing I want to quickly grab before we move regions again, and we do need to come here first, so I'm going to get the timer started, and I will explain what we're going to do. So the timer is going to go on, and there we go. Right, let's get moving. So what I actually want to do is one small thing, and that is to go over to the Shazian encampment, and there is actually a saw spawn. Now, you can probably see where this is going. We are going to get some construction done in this episode. Now, we carried over the D-Med and not the coins. So we currently don't have any GP, but thankfully with the construction method that I'm going to use, I do not need to turn logs into planks. I actually don't have access to that because I can't get to the sawmill because I need 60 wood cutting. So I'm not going to need money to actually turn them into planks. but I will need money for other things. For example, I'm going to need some nails because I'm going to be using regular planks. Also, I have no idea. Oh, there is. I have no idea where the saw is, but I managed to find it. We have lumberage unlocked, so I can just go ahead and do this. Yeah, so I am going to need a pickaxe to get the stuff to make nails. I could use a bronze pickaxe, but it might be a bit slow. I haven't quite decided on how I want to do that yet. But we are going to be using regular planks that spawn on Entrana, which is then also going to bring up another problem, and that is we have a demed. I kind of can't go to Entrana. So we've got a plan to sort this out. Bearing in mind this account is supposed to be following UIM rules, so we will be following UIM rules with the way that we do this. I'm not going to be putting it in the bank or anything. I do not use the bank. I'm not allowed to take anything out of the bank. So if I put this in the bank, that's it. It's gone. But yeah, with that said, we do have ourselves a saw, which means we can actually do construction, which is amazing. I've been wanting to do this for so long. We've got 7 construction from Daddy's home that we did ages ago, but it's about time that we push that up a little bit more. And also, one really nice thing is that we can actually go ahead and finish a portion of interest, although I think I need to kill a sour hog for this quest, and I don't have any gear at the moment, so we might have to come back to that later when I've actually got some supplies. But for now, I'm going to work on trying to get myself some sort of pickaxe so we can get ourselves some nails, and then we will sort out how we're going to get the planks from Entrana. Okay, so I've decided to start off just by trying out the bronze pickaxe that spawns in Rimington, and we're going to try and make some iron nails. Now, if this goes terribly slow, I'm probably going to get myself some coins together and buy a better pickaxe, and then I'll be using that to mine the iron ore, and we'll get ourselves some iron nails with that. I really don't know how many I need. I want to go for 37 construction, because that will allow me to build an oak pet house in the POH, which is a task, a medium task in the area. Not very useful because we don't have any pets, but at least then I can get the task done. And also with 25 construction, I believe I can move it to Hosidius. Now the only problem with this is that Hosidius is a great place to have your POH, because it has access to the sawmill as well. But the problem is, I don't have the woodcutting level to get into the guild, so I can't actually use the sawmill. So I may look into doing some woodcutting this episode, or maybe in the future. If I can just get it to Hosidius, then at least that's that step done. I think that's the main step that I'm going to struggle with, especially because technically, if I just have Southern Corrend in the future, I could do organized crime and get some planks from them. Like, there are ways to train construction without the woodcutting guild in just Southern Corrend, so it's not the end of the world, but 25 construction would be really nice to move it, and obviously we want the 37 construction for the task, but I'm just basically going to mine up a full invent of iron and just make as many nails as I can. Also, if you guys remember back to when I had Asgarnia previously, I managed to get myself a Mahogany Homes contract within Falador, which was really nice. We will be able to do that. I don't believe you need nails for that, but I'm going to prep the nails now. I do not want this clue geode. Just so that we've got them ready for when we want to do construction. I don't think it's really going to hinder me all that much. And then we'll have to sort out the demed situation so we can actually go to Entrana and get ourselves some planks. So one other thing I forgot to mention, well, first of all, I want to quickly say that we do also need steel bars to do Mahogany Homes, but that's not an issue. We've got iron, we've got coal, we've got a furnace. It's not too hard to make that. But the thing I did forget to mention is since the last episode, we also had ourselves rewards of 50,000 crafting XP, 5,000 herb XP, 5,000 firemaker XP, and then another 5,000 craft XP, so a total of 55,000 crafting XP, which I did go ahead and add, and we're actually at 48 crafting now, which is really nice, and something is loading on my computer for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, we've got ourselves a full invent of iron, but yeah, we've got ourselves 48 crafting, which is keeping it on par with the other Bible skills, which is really nice. 51 herb lore is also really nice as well. I think we got a level in that as well. We're pushing up firemaking closer to 50. We haven't actually had Northern Corrend yet to even attempt Wintertod, but by the time we get it, we'll be able to just push the final few levels and get us as a Wintertod kill. I'd really like to get that out of the way before getting too many hit points levels, but I can definitely brute force it if I have to, just with some cakes or something. I definitely could get myself a kill if I really needed to. So we're going to go up, we're going to smelt all of these into bars, we'll get ourselves a bunch of nails, and I'll probably see you when we need to sort out the demed situation. Definitely a weird way to train smithing, but I'm not complaining. Alright, so we're going to finish off these. We've got ourselves just about 1,000 iron nails, and now we need to work out how we're going to do the whole Entrana thing. First of all, I'm going to get rid of this pickaxe. There's multiple spawns of it that I can get, and I can also go to Nermoth and buy a pickaxe if I really needed to, so we don't need to hold on to that. Plus the fact that it obviously can't go to Entrana anyway. But this is the big issue here, this item. is going to require us to store it somewhere so that we can actually do this. Now, for this method, we want to use def piling, but because we're not actually a UIM and we just function as a UIM, we're not going to drop it on def. So if I go ahead and look at the def screen, you're going to see here that we're actually going to keep it. So we can't actually def pile. And also, even if we do def pile, our items will go to def's coffer, which is over there. So we have agreed with the chat that the best way to do this, the best way to make it as close to being an ultimate Iron Man as possible, because that is how this series is intended to work, what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly trade over a Cape of Skulls. I'm going to skull myself, so that will make me drop everything, and then I will have an hour, which is the same amount of time as a UIM would have, to go ahead and do whatever I need to do. And then I need to come back to Def's coffer, because the grave will only last 15 minutes. I'll have to come back to Def's coffer, which is basically in the same place where I died anyway, and I'll have to claim my items. If I take longer than an hour, the items are going to go straight in the bank, and they're gone. I lose them. That's basically how it's going to work. So it's essentially the exact same as a UIM, or it's about the closest we can possibly get it. We agreed on this on the Twitch chat. If you disagree, you're always welcome to come and join the stream and give your input, and you'll have a vote in how the series works, so be sure to do that. The link is in the description if you need it. But yeah, that's basically the plan. So I'm going to be trading over a Cape of Skulls briefly, then we're going to be def piling. We'll be taking out the free items here and then leaving the DMed in there. As I said, if I do not pick it up within an hour, we'll have the timer on screen to check it. But if I do not come and get it within an hour, then I lose it. That'll be my own fault. But we'll be keeping track of that, and hopefully the Twitch chat won't let me forget it anyway. So let's go ahead and def pile. Okay, so the def pile is done. It's a grave at the moment, and I do have 14 minutes and 30 seconds. But once that runs out, it will move it to def's coffer, which is basically like 10 tiles away from where I died. Whenever I do this in the future, this is how it will be working. I also want to mention that if for any reason in the future I die somewhere, let's say I go to God Wars and I happen to die there, wherever the UIM def pile would end up is where I have to get back to within an hour, otherwise I have to wipe. That's the way I'm going to work with this account. Because then that would essentially mimic how it would work as a UIM. I'd still have to go to Def's coffer to get my items back, but as long as I can get to the location that my def pile would be at, we can confirm that I would have made it in time. There is a downside to this, because later on, when I die with more expensive stuff, it's going to start costing me money, whereas for a UIM, it wouldn't. So that is kind of the trade-off for this, but it is going to work as close as I can possibly get it to being a UIM. But yeah, so now we don't have a DMed on us. We should be able to take the boat to Entrana, which is going to allow us to go over to, obviously, Entrana. And then there is there's a few plank spawns up near the law altar over here. So we're going to be collecting them, and we're going to be using that to train construction. Like I said, I do have a Falador task. Mahogany Homes contract, sorry, that's the one. So I probably will be going ahead and doing that, because that will give a nice chunk of XP. And we can hope for another task that's going to be in Falador, but it's very doubtful. Now I'm going to need to hop around for these a lot. I don't think that affects my my gravestone at all. But we'll come back to 350 in the end anyway, because I usually sit on this world as it is. But yeah, we're going to collect up all of these planks, fill up our invent more or less, and then I'm probably going to go do the Mahogany Homes contract, which actually means I'm going to need to get myself at least one steel bar, depending on how many contracts we get. I might make 2 just in case, and we can get ourselves some construction XP. Right, we went ahead and grabbed ourselves 2 steel bars to go along with the Mahogany Homes. I did use up some of the planks, so I had some space to pick up the ores. I'm going to go ahead and finish the first contract, and we'll see what we get as the next one. We have access to Hosidius as well. I don't know if I mentioned that in the previous clip, but that does mean if we get a contract in a Hosidius, we can also do that, technically. I'm wondering whether it's actually worth my time doing it, because I'd have to go all the way over to Hosidius, but I don't think it's that big of an issue. So, we already got ourselves 2 construction levels before even handing it in. So, we're going to finish up this one here, and we'll go and hand this in and see what level we can get. This is going to be our first Mahogany Homes contract. Handed in. 500 XP. We'll take the cup of tea. Why not get some energy for free? And that puts us to level 12. Very nice. We're going to go over to Amy, get ourselves another contract. Hopefully we can do it, because we've got some supplies to do it with. If not, I'll probably end up dropping the steel bar, or maybe trying to make something in the POH, and then we will just basically camp stuff in the POH with regular planks that we're going to get from Entrana. We will have to def pile again whenever we get to the point where the time is going to run out, and I'll have to keep def piling, because there's the consistency of keeping that up. Let's get ourselves another contract in Ardy. Okay, so we can't do this. So it's going to be just working with the POH for now. If we ever go over to RD and have the stuff to do a contract, we can get that done. It's kind of an awkward one to do though. So anyway, we are going to just probably build like chairs or something in the house with these nails and grind out some construction. I want to get at least 25. We also need money, but like region-wise. What the? Okie doke. Apparently when your gravestone expires, it causes that to happen. Interesting. Alright, so quick update. We got ourselves some coins from a random event, which I held on to just because it was easier for invent stuff. I've not seen this Death's Office before. Anyway, we are running out of time on our theoretical death pile, so we're going to go ahead and refresh it. Just going to quickly head over here. We should be able to get ourselves the D-Med back for free. Don't know how this works, really. There we go, the D-Med. Right, so we're just picking this up from our death pile, and we're going to re-death pile so we can store it again. I'm going to be going for 25 construction and then stopping. I was originally going to go for 37, but I've realized how long that's going to take. If I can get to 25, then we will have access to moving the house to Hosidius, which means if I can get the 60 wood cutting, we can actually just do construction in Hosidius in future, which would be really nice. But we're going to go ahead and get ourselves Scold again, re-die, and then we'll train our way up to 25 construction. And after that, I'm not going to be doing any more construction this episode. Like I said, it'll be ready for the future. I probably will be working on woodcutting, but I do have some other things that I want to do beforehand, so let me just quickly death pile this, and I'll probably see you guys once I hit 25. Ooh, 1,000 total level. Pretty cool. It's not a bad unlock. We got one level to go, and then we'll be done with construction. So, and there we go. That's going to be 25 construction complete. We can now build a hall with skill trophies, which is useless. None of this stuff is important. The only important thing about getting 25 construction is that we can now put our house in Hosidius, which I'm not going to do right now. I don't need to, because there's an estate agent in Hosidius, so in the future, if I need to move my house there, I have the ability to do it. Plus the fact it'd mean I'd have to grind out a bunch of money to move it, and I don't think that's really worth doing right now. I'm going to finish off this inventory, so we get rid of all these planks, and then we're going to move on. I do need to get myself some coins, so the next thing we're doing is probably going to be stealing from guards, although I will be going ahead and getting my D-Med back first, as we will not be needing to store that anymore. I also want to mention that I got too many nails, but had we have gone for the 37 construction, I probably wouldn't have even had enough. So I think my calculations were right, given my original goal. But obviously we kind of wasted the time and effort making these now. But no problem. I'm just going to be dropping these. They're not really worth anything. But there we go. That's all the planks used up. Once this final one is complete, there we go. We're all done with construction for now. Finished at 25. I'm not going to worry about the 37. It's really not that important. It will just get me a task done, which I really don't need. So we'll drop saw, drop the hammer. I can buy another one if I really need it. And we're going to go make ourselves some money from guards, which I think I'm actually going to head over to Hosidius for instead, because there's a cake store nearby and it's really easy to re-heal on. Plus, we could probably go ahead and do some farming actually in the meantime. Okay, so we made our way over to Hosidius, and what I'm going to quickly do first is we are going to pickpocket the Master Farmer wherever he is, somewhere in here. Am I going mad? Oh, he's out there. Okay, so we're going to pickpocket the Master Farmer a bit. We're going to get ourselves just some farming stuff, so we can just train farming in the meantime, because we still want to get 34 farming to be able to do Tithe Farm, because once I have that unlocked, farming XP is super easy to get. I got a snap. Okay, what is with this account and getting the good seeds? I am 22 farming. I don't understand. I can't use this. Regardless, we're going to be getting some farming equipment. We'll do some farming, and then I will be going ahead and collecting myself some coins, because I will need to get myself some combat gear from Rimington before we can go ahead and do some more stuff. Alright, so we did some more thieving. We got ourselves 5,000 coins. I got sick of failing so much. I think 5,000 will do for now. I could probably stretch it to make it work. But what I'm going to quickly do is I'm actually going to go back and grab the saw again, and I'm going to try and head over to Puro and get myself some eclectic implings until I get some oak planks. Now the reason I want to do this is because it'll allow me to build a tool storage 1 in the house. I'm probably going to need more money because I need to build a workshop. I just realized that. I'll have to cover that in a minute. But the reason I want to do this is so that if I get, if I want to do construction in the future, getting a saw is going to be a lot easier. I'll have access to my POH, and I can just get it from the tool rack, rather than having to specifically have these regions that have a saw in them. Obviously, I can just get it from the house, which is going to be great. I completely forgot about building an extra room, so I am going to have to cover that with more coins, which is going to suck, because I'm getting sick of failing on stupid cards. I had 4,990 coins, and I wanted to get 5k, or no, 4,980 coins, sorry, and I wanted to get 5k. So I needed one more pickpocket, and I failed, I think, 8 times in a row. Just obnoxious, really. But yeah, we're going to go grab ourselves the saw, which is somewhere over here, I think in this one. There it is. And I'm going to figure out what I need to do for this. Obviously, I don't need regular planks, so we don't have to worry about the whole Entrana thing. But I will need to get myself some planks from Eclectics. To be fair, they do give you some stuff that you can sell for money, so maybe that will allow me to get the money for the room. We'll see. Alright, sweet. There's the planks. Probably going to catch a few more just to get some coins, because I think this is, as annoying as this is, it's probably still faster than me trying to thieve guards. Because all I ever do is fail to thieve guards. At least with these, I do eventually catch them, and I mean, who knows, I could get, like, Rune Dagger or something, and that's, it's definitely sellable, and that's annoying. Oh, blue DI chaps. Wait, we can use them, right? I didn't even think about this. I'm not going to sell them, actually. We will keep hold of them. Completely forgot that we could just use blue DI chaps. That's actually beautiful. Nice. So I just realized a workshop is 10k. So we're going to need more money. Great. I really don't want to do Puro, so we're just going to thieve from guards. We did get the blue DI chaps, as you would have seen, so I'm going to be keeping hold of them for range armor, which is going to be nice, but we're going to just fail this 100,000 times and get incredibly frustrated, but still nowhere near as frustrating as Implings. Alright, so change of pace. I'm sick of being punched by guards. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to get our Shazian favor up to 20%, so we can use the shops, and we are going to pick up a sword spawn and sell it to the shop repeatedly. Because it gives about twice as much as a pickpocket from a guard, except for I don't have to worry about getting punched over and over again, which would be really nice. Now I just need to make my way to where the bandage place is that I was before, and this shouldn't take too long. I remember getting 5%, it took me like 2 minutes, so getting 15% should take me about 6, in theory. Alright, that's going to be 20% favor done. That is all we need for now. I have contemplated doing the 400%, but I don't think it's that important right now. I can do it some other time by some other means. I could even kill lizard men in Northern Korea if I ever got around to it. Bearing in mind, I was going to do that before and then realised I was in the wrong region, so I'm glad I didn't go ahead with it. But right now, apparently, if I go to the sword shop, which is all the way down here, there should be, I think, an iron sword spawn. So I'm basically just going to pick up a bunch of them, hot worlds, and sell them. Yeah, so that's just to make some coins. I want to get at least 15k because I need 10k to build the room in the house, and then I want 5k to buy range equipment. I've spent way too much time doing this, but making money in these areas is actually a lot worse than I thought it was. This is at the point where I finally realised that there's a money-making method I completely forgot about, or someone leaves it in the comments and I look like an idiot. But yeah, I couldn't find a better money-making method, and neither could the Twitch chat, so that's what we're currently doing right now. Alright, as long as we keep ourselves 10k, we're good to do the POH. I'll probably just buy like 400. I think that's totally fine. We've got ourselves some gear now. We're going to have about 400 coins left over for anything else that we may need. I can go back to thieving from guards if I absolutely have to. I'd rather not, but if absolutely necessary, we can. I've also kept hold of the mithril pickaxe in case we decide to do some mining and smithing. It's going to be nice. And I now need to head back over to Falador, so that we can go ahead and build ourselves the tool storage in the house. I'll also need to unnote these. Build ourselves a workshop, and then we can move on with doing some quests. Right, let's go ahead into the POH. We will build ourselves a workshop over here. Pretty sure it's workshop. I might just double check this real quick, but I'm almost certain it is. Yes, it is. Let's go ahead and build ourselves a workshop. I really don't care how it's built right now, because we can always rearrange it later. We're down to 399 coins. That's a bit awkward. Right, so we can go ahead and build ourselves a tool store 1. Oh, actually, we've got 25. Oh, I don't have a hammer. Never mind. I'll quickly go grab a hammer for the general store, and we can actually just build the tool store 2 instead of building the tool store 1 twice. I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but yeah, that's definitely a better way of doing this. I can't believe I completely forgot the hammer, but it's convenient that there is a general store right here. So back into the house, into here, we can build tool store 1, and then we build tool store 2, and there we go. So now we have access to a saw inside the house. So we should never really have a problem with getting ourselves a saw anymore. So long as we have access to the POH, we have access to a saw. So the only time I can imagine this being a problem is if we were doing something like mahogany homes in RD, for example, and we didn't have access to the house. But then at that point, the odds are fairly low that I'm not going to have access to a saw one way or another. So that's that done. We can get rid of them. And we can move on to working on some quests that I really wanted to get finished if we could ever get, like, Falador, Asgarnia, and Lumbridge around the same time. I didn't expect to get them at the same time. I was, like, dashing between them, but we can go ahead and finish a portion of interest. That's why we got all the arrows here. I don't know if I need food. I probably should have grabbed some cakes. But I think what I'll do is I'll just buy some wines from Drainer, because I'm going to be using ranged anyway. And obviously wines lower your attack, which isn't going to affect me here. So we are going to head over and we'll get ourselves a portion of interest completed, which will actually give us the ability to get a Slayer task from Spria, which we can hopefully do in the regions we have provided. Let's collect the arrows. They are very valuable, and apparently they're underneath this. Cut the foot off of this poor pig. I don't have anything to cut it with. Can I not just pull the head off like you do with Elvarg? That just amazes me that the RuneScape characters are strong enough to, like, completely pull Elvarg's head off with their bare hands, but to take a foot off of a giant pig, nah, that's too difficult. Alright, we've got ourselves a bronze axe. This should do. I'm just going to equip it in case. And can we cut the foot off now? There we go. We've got ourselves the foot, which apparently was way harder than ripping off Elvarg's head. Nonetheless, got ourselves a sour hog foot. This should allow us to finish the quest. If we head over to, is it Sarah at Falador Farm? We'll be able to go ahead and finish this quest off. And I believe it gives Slayer XP and some Slayer points. I don't quite remember. But most importantly, it unlocks Spria as a Slayer Master, which means we can get ourselves a Slayer task. And that's gonna, wow, 5,000, oh my god, I didn't realize it gave me 5k. That's not the quest complete though, apparently. I guess I finish it as Spria, I didn't realize that. But we got 5,000 coins for that. I mean, that's great, but it's also kind of terrible because this is going to go to waste now. I'm sure I can find something to spend it on. Spria, let's finish the quest. What do we get as a reward from this? There we go. 1,000 Slayer XP. Nice. 30 points. And we unlock a Slayer Master. Let's get ourselves a Slayer task from Spria. Can it be something that we could do? I'm sure that we've got bats somewhere around here. There's bats in Southern Kourend, if not in this area. I don't really keep track of where bats are, but I know that there are some in Southern Kourend. Oh, 26 Slayer. I just kind of got rid of that. But if I do this, I know for a fact there are bats here. So, worst comes to worst, we can always go there and do the Slayer task. But that's great. That means we can actually do a Slayer task with Spria. That's beautiful. 26 Slayer as well. Going to be great for the future when we want to do ourselves some proper Slayer tasks. I'm probably just going to explore the general area and see if I can find out some area for bats that doesn't require me to go to Kourend. But also in the meantime, I'm going to quickly farm these and plant some cabbages, because I really should be doing farming whenever I have the ability to. Right, before we go ahead and do Slayer, there is one thing I want to do quickly, before I forget, because I would get really annoyed if I forget to do this. And that is, I'm going to go ahead and do X marks the spot. Now, you might think this isn't a difficult quest to do, but when your regions are divided, it can be quite annoying. So, essentially, the reason this is a problem is because the final step, most of the steps are in the Lumbridge region, but the final step is to go to Veos here, which obviously crosses over. But because we have both regions this week, I can actually go ahead and do the entire quest. So, that's going to be really nice, because it also means I can start Client of Kourend, which essentially means if I get North and South Kourend at the same time, I can complete that quest. There's a lot of things like this, that have to work together to get these stuff done. But we can get this one done. It'll get us an XP lamp for 300 XP, which will probably go on Slayer, to be honest. But that's not the real reason why I'm doing it. I just want to get this quest done. So I'm going to smash through X marks the spot, and we're going to get ourselves, well, the quest complete. Alright, that didn't take any time at all. Let's go and hand this in and complete ourselves X marks the spot. And that is going to be... And quest complete. There we go. 200 coins, the antique lamp, which is just going to go straight on Slayer. Let's face it. Bam. Slayer XP any levels? Nope. And yeah, so that's X marks the spot done. We can try and do the beginner, I guess. That's hands. Do you know what? I'm going to try and do this beginner clue. If it tries to send me into a different region, then so be it. Might be able to get this done, actually. I think it's max 3 steps, right? So we might get it done here. Oh, max 3 steps. Oh my god. Ah, the final step, and it's going to be dropped because we cannot go to Varrock to get ourselves the locating orb. That sucks. Right, we've got ourselves some bats in Taverley Dungeon. We're going to be going ahead and killing all of these for our Slayer task, and we'll get ourselves a little bit of Slayer XP. No Slayer points, unfortunately, because it's Spreer, but I need to change my attack options. But yeah, so get ourselves some Slayer done, I guess. I've been hoping to do some Slayer for a while now. It's just unfortunate that Slayer is so inconvenient on this account. And that's task complete. No points, because we've only done 3 tasks, and, I mean, it's Spreer anyway, so we won't get any. Is home teleport ready? Yes, it is. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves another task. I did plant some hops, but they are not done yet. So, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves another task from Spreer. Hopefully it's another task we can do, and we'll continue with some Slayer. Alright, let's get ourselves another assignment. What are you going to give me? Zombies! That's a nice, easy one. Right here. We can get ourselves some zombies. Beautiful task. Thank you, Spreer, for being very kind to us. Oh, there's another task done. Didn't even realise. Let's go and get ourselves another assignment from Spreer. Can we do this one as well? We're on a roll here, so it'd be really nice. Cows? Oh, I'm sorry, cow. Nice and easy to do this one, though. We got ourselves a cow field over here. Let's go. Another task completed. Can we have another one? Dogs. I've got access to dogs in Hosidius, the guard dogs. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. There's probably dogs nearer, but they're just ones that I know exist. I also want to go over to Shazin anyway and buy some more arrows, so it doesn't hurt to go over to Zaya, because we need ourselves some more money. We've got 3 hours and 40 minutes left, but I just want to do Slayer until I get a task that I can't do. I don't really know what tasks she can give that that I can't do, actually. I'm not really sure. I think Land's End is also closer to Shazin, so we're going to do that. Alright, so we are grinding out Slayer still, but I'm just going to not really record any of this until we hit a task that we can't do. And in the meantime, I am going to be doing some farming still, so I will be briefly stopping, especially while I'm here, to get myself some more seeds so we can do some more farming. We do really want to get that 34. I highly doubt I'll get it this week, but slowly chipping away out there, so eventually we'll be able to do Tithe and finally get ourselves off the ground with farming. Okay, so I don't really know what the previous recording was. I recorded it a while ago. But we are on our way to get another task. But I thought in the meantime, I have realised that I can actually complete Goblin Diplomacy. So what we need to do is we need to get ourselves some dies. I'm going to quickly grab another task here and see if we can do this. But we need to grab ourselves some dies and then we can head up and do Goblin Diplomacy. Skeletons, nice and easy. Cool. The reason that I couldn't do this before is because, well, the obvious reason, I couldn't make dies because I need the Lumbridge region to make the dies and I need the Asgarnia region to do the quest. So it was a bad contrast. Now I can get red berries from Wyden in Port Sarim, thankfully, because other than that I'd have to grow a red berry bush in these regions, which isn't going to happen. And then I can get woad leaves from Wyson, or I could farm them. I did have some woad seeds before, but I must have got rid of them. No worries, I can still buy them from Wyson, though it's not a big deal. We've got ourselves a yellow die, gonna get ourselves the other 2 dies. Gonna go ahead and do Goblin Diplomacy and then probably go back to Slayer if I cannot see any room to complete any future quests. I want to abuse the opportunities I have with these 2 regions now because I never know when I'll get the combination of these 2 ever again. So I want to make sure I get all these quest steps done. Slayer comes and goes, but you know, quests are more inconvenient than Slayer is. Alright, let's get ourselves the rest of the dies. That's the red die done, and this should give me the blue die. Oh, blue die, and there we go. We got 1 of every single die, and all the primary dies at least, and that'll be enough to do Goblin Diplomacy. We are now going to head up and do a quick farm run, and then we'll quickly smash out that quest. Alright, let's get ourselves Goblin Diplomacy done. This should be super quick, very easy quest, now that I've got the items at least. Let's get this done. And there we go, Goblin Diplomacy complete, and some crafting XP that's not really going to do any favours for us. Got some GP as well, cannot complain, but that quest is done. It's going to be handy for the future if I try and get around to doing Lost Tribe. I did check the requirements earlier. I need Rune Mysteries to do it, which actually means I need Lumbridge and Varrock at the same time. Kind of inconvenient, but who knows? We might get it at some point in the future, but that is Goblin Diplomacy done. Probably going to go ahead and do that Slayer task now, and I might look into seeing if there's any more quests that we can get done in the meantime. where I have the ability to, with the regions I have unlocked, because like I said, I do want to abuse the opportunities that we have right now. Hello, Mr. Dunce. Can I finish this kill? You know, I'm not going to risk it. This is worth way more. Slayer! 30! We can now kill Pyrofiends. Cool. I mean, not useful, but I guess we're getting up there. We're unlocking more and more Slayer monsters. Eventually we will find something that's actually going to accommodate us. Pretty nice. Oh, I finally got it. I just realised. Oh my god, finally. Right, I'm done. This was such a waste of time. So, basically, I have been trying to get myself a third Sweetcorn seed for a while. Since starting to pickpocket, which, by the way, is a 1 in 45, so it's not even that rare, okay? I managed to get myself a seaweed spore, which is, let me just quickly check. It is 1 in 2.2 thousand. And then I got myself a Lantodime seed, which is 1 in 4,167. All I wanted was a Sweetcorn seed. It wasn't that much to ask for. But for the sake of hilarity, we're going to put this in the bank. That one there. I already did it with the seaweed spore. We can go and have a quick look. And we can also see the value of the bank now anyway. It is 1.05 mil is what we've thrown away. So if we go to the bottom part, you'll see seaweed spore, Lantodime seed. Oh, and also, I did a little bit of research as well. The Torstal seed is approximately a 1 in 10,000. And that's here. In 492 pickpockets of the Master Farmer, I have had all 3 of these. I did not think it'd be that difficult to get Sweetcorn seeds. But nonetheless, it's not a big deal. We can go back to doing farming now, which is what I was planning to do. Wasted so much time doing this. And then I need to get myself another Slayer task. I'm considering stopping at 9 tasks, and then if I get a region that gives me a Slayer Master that could get points, it might be worth taking the task from them so I can get a chunk of points rather than just wasting it. Haven't fully decided on that yet, but if I do, I probably will spend a chunk of time doing woodcutting, because if I can get this close to 60 and being able to go to the woodcutting guild, it's going to be really useful for the future, whether it be construction or doing a task, and also I'll be able to get myself 50 fire making as well for Wintertodt, so I won't have to worry about that if we ever get Northern Korend. Okay, that's going to be the 9th task done. I am definitely just going to hold off on the 10th task. I could get another one, but the problem is I'd then use my 10th task and get no points. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on the 10th task, and then when we get something like Varrock and we can use Vanaka, we'll do that for the 10th task so we can get ourselves some Slayer points. Right now, I'm pretty much just going to invest the last 45 minutes into training some woodcutting and fire making. It's not going to get all too much, but it will push me closer to 60, which is going to allow us access to the woodcutting guild. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and do this near the farming patch, so I can juggle this between, well, I can juggle between this and farming, get ourselves a little bit more XP, hopefully try and use up these seeds before we finish off this episode. And that should push us closer to 34, which will unlock Tithe, and honestly, once Tithe Farm is unlocked, this is going to be so much easier to train. I will not have to grind out these seeds, I can simply just go and grind out the skill. So, let's head over and get ourselves some XP. Okay, so we've done a bunch of fire making and woodcutting, didn't really get much. Unfortunately, using a bronze axe does that to you. We've got 15 minutes left, so I probably will do a little bit more, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some farming. We'll get a little bit more farming XP. We're currently at 28. It's closer and closer to 34, but we're still not quite there. So I'm going to be farming this, going to be home teleporting, doing the hops patch that's near Lumbridge, and then I'll head over to the Falador farm, and we'll go ahead and do that patch as well. And then I'll probably just spend the last few minutes doing some fire making and woodcutting, just to get us some extra XP just before the time runs out, and then we will roll ourselves another 3 regions. Alright, 8 seconds left, 7, can we get a log before we finish? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we lit it, just in time. Right, okay, so we're done. That's another week done. Looking very snazzy with these reinforced goggles on. They're just going to go in the bank with everything else, and so are the blue D-hide chaps, which kind of sucks. So we are going to be carrying over the D-med once again, as you guys probably predicted. And that's pretty much the end of this week. We didn't do any tasks this week. It feels quite empty, but the construction is actually a really good unlock for the future, because it makes construction a lot more accessible now, and eventually I'll be able to build a costume room, and that's going to be really huge for the future as well. So it is time to check out our new regions. Do you know what? I will take those and I will work with that. That's pretty good. Pumped. Let's go.